Logged on at an unusual time for me and just noticed there was a game, so I might just observe it live. So we have Team 1, we have Ice Angel and Andy Boy 89. And on Team 2, we've got Fat Tony, and in green, we have Format XC. Yellow, Fat Tony, 6 War Factory, 7 Decent Economy, a few rockets out, quite a few rockets out all up and down, which is good to see. Green, bit behind. Four War Factories, fair few rockets, a helipad there to get some hinds. A few kennels chasing, I don't know, a base spread or the build speed, but it looks like infantry is full, and a airfield for early spy planes, I'm guessing. Because it's live, I can't just select a player's view. But yeah, we can see yellow and green just dropping some forces down here to catch any scouts. Meanwhile, on this side, decent economy happening. Fair few rockets, quite a lot of rockets, very well spread along that line. It'll be interesting to see how effective that is. A few war factories up now, and just crawling towards the front where Teal already has his tanks. Pink, 3 refineries, a few extra harvesters, 4 war factories, helipads working on some air now. So yeah, I just caught the game just as it was developing. We see green sending a spy plane, so we can assume they've just found. We might have just been spying that corner. Can't really assume anything. A few subs out from yellow. I see this is a version of the map that doesn't prevent the navy build here, and also here, and on the island the layout's a little bit different. So already some damage here, but it looks like would have been 2 chronos and 2 nukes to begin with. Green going on a bit of a scout here. Teal got this hole plugged quite effectively. Pink, a bit open, not reacting to this. Now he is. And Green's managed to just get past, so the AI's come in, just distracted Pink a little bit. Looks like this tank's not going to make it past those rockets, so yeah, valiant attempt, but not to be. Crates are on. No way of knowing if there's been anything juicy yet. Green's just dragged a bit of the AI through with him, which Pink's now just tidying up. Teal streaming his tanks forward, well and truly got this bit covered. Pink was going to manoeuvre here, but the destroyers have pushed him back. Bit of cash there. He would do well to occupy this zone. Needs to just deal with those destroyers though. He's just got a gaggle of vehicles here for the Navy deployment, just to early warning or to take him out, just as Team 2 have done down here. Green, we can see the choppers flying in, although I can hear the AA cannon. That might have been for a spy plane. That AA cannon's gone. So is that one. Yeah, so these players have dealt with all four corners. Pink, decent sized air force going now as well. He's up to 5 helipads there for the build speed. He went 4 war factories first before he did that. It's a good balance, I find. Yeah, you can see Pink has still managed to get quite a few tanks out, um, as much as any other player, just with 4. Um, and been able to switch to air, and has even caught up to Green with air because Green's still just using the 1 helipad. Although he does now have these airfields, so he is getting the build speed bonus on helicopters through those. So he's selected them here. He is building more. He is just trying to get them organised, and I see he's managed to group them all together and have them land like that. That's yeah, that's a nice way of doing it. Just saves you having to do it when you start your attack. Yellow, you can see scattered everywhere. Quite a bit of air defence. Green has got some infantry here and there. Honestly, by now, could really be bringing half of these rockets forward and screening along this line with them, um, and just leaving a handful behind here and there just to provide a bit of backstop. But at yellows, yeah, with a few SAM sites and all of yellow, you're well and truly covered around the top edge, I would imagine. But famous last words. TL starting to get a few SAM sites out now. Still a little bit reliant on the AA that came with the map. Some of that's been taken out, but okay, Pink's just taking that health down so we can capture it. Pink, yeah, ended up quite a good job with the rockets now too. Very well spread out. SAM sites starting to appear. Um, quite well done there. Otherwise, both teams, well, neither team really pushing at this stage. Just getting their builds happening. Pink's expanded his economy down here. Maybe it's a backup if these get taken out. He can bring his harvesters down and start harvesting here. Although ideally he would have built more harvesters by this point. Does look like he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's only got the 7 there. Green, 3 refineries with 6 harvesters. He's got some extras here as well if he wants more. It's just spread his rockets out now and done an X scatter on those, so they're very well spread. I mean, there's no way any air is going to really be able to do much here, especially with a few more SAMs. Yellow, not waiting for green, getting SAMs built down here as well, really establishing a line here. Teal was attempting to scout, but has just realised what he's up against. The AI reacting to that now. That won't last long. Mechanic's in there doing his thing. As we see now, yellow, he has done a naval crossing just with a handful of tanks. and that gaggle, maybe he moved them, or maybe he killed them, but they were not effective to stop that. Yellow, don't know if he really wanted to kill that. He might have just been clicking in the corner in the dark. And yeah, the helicopters are reacting now, and yellow's just moved to get away from them and try and do the scout, which is really why he's over here. Pink's trying to bring forces over, but they're all going to be too late to get in front of him. Streaming down to these rockets. These rockets will do a lot of damage, but not before Yellow's managed to spy this refinery, and maybe even more. He probably can't see that MCV just from that. Turned in, yeah. Had he just turned in here instead of there, might have been different. But that's his entire economy now. Spied, and he's still on the way down. Teal's sending the tank down to react, but I suspect Yellow's going to find this as well. Which he has. Depending on how actively he's controlling this tank, he may get over here. Teal's going to kill him otherwise. And yeah, he's finished now. But yeah, good job there for 5 tanks. He has distracted Pink for a minute or two, and now has eyes on all of this. Pink, though, he has already reacted, started to drop his AA cannons and bring a few more rockets over. So, yeah, it remains to be seen if that pays off in the long run. Teal MiGs just working for free, taking out tanks. May as well. Green, huge amount of airfields here, plugging this gap in case Team 1 do get around in here. As we see his choppers on the move. So he's got 22 airfields there. Hopefully he's got that queued up. I don't know how many helicopters he's got here, but it's quite a few, and they are tightly grouped. And he is actively navigating these guys in so that he can try and pick his way through air defense as much as possible. Yeah, so he's lost 2 choppers now, but he's through that first line. Could have come around the top realistically, but he has opted just to skirt close. But now he's okay. This happens because you can only fit a certain number of helicopters around a target at a time. Half of them tried to go home. Oh, he's made a mistake here. He was moving them on before they had managed to finish that. And you can see now between the AA cannons and the spread out rockets, he does get the para bombs out, but not enough to deal with much damage to this second refinery, although maybe. No. So, yeah, just a couple of misclicks, but some tight air defense here from Pink has plugged that gap. This one was a little bit exposed, but before long, you would imagine Pink will be fully plugged. There's no battles going on, so he's got time to react, and he's got spare refineries. He can move his harvesters down here and just keep producing. And we see Green manage to exchange quite a lot of those Hinds for MiGs. So I think I counted 22 or 23 here before. So he's switching now to MiGs. Surprised that between Green and Pink we haven't hit the air limit yet. Once the war factory's maxed out, Pink could have maybe dropped one or two more of these, or three even, just to really max this out. That said, though, he has switched to air defense, which is also useful. Um, so there's one more hind flying in now. That might be the air limit, all sewn up again after that attack. So green, hard to know. I mean, it's always good to try and use your choppers early and snipe with them, but it is a bit of use it or lose it sometimes. Well, it's use it and lose it. It is a one single use thing if you hang around too long. Switching into MiGs, good strategy, but does he have enough to really threaten with that? Given the strong air defense, there's not a lot of air defense through this, but Team Two don't know that. Um, they probably don't have any vision to be able to route their planes through here. Yellow did get a helipad and a spy plane in the end, a couple of helicopters, but well behind on air production. So you'd imagine just trying to absorb what he can, and you never know when that might turn into a useful little force later in the game. Green does have the transport here, just in case wants to try and capture an island or ferry anything over. Engineer rush maybe. We can see pink here. So we've got 8 here and 6 here, so call that 14 times 4. So that's like 50 to 60 helicopters here. I think the air limit is 100. So if we call that 60, this is 23, so what's that, 83, 6 there. So let's call that 90, 95. Not sure if Teal has any helipads. So yeah, give or take, I'd say the limit is 100. Pink probably has a bit more. I guess there is that transport there too. So as we see now, green MiGs up and running in groups of 3. Targeting V2s, which is good, but he is coming straight over the top of these destroyers. So he may just want to rethink that for the moment, and Pink happy to leave them there to screen. See what did he lose? So he lost 1 and hasn't been able to rebuild it. I mean, if he keeps that up just slowly, he's just going to lose more and more. Although we see Teal now has occupied the southern island. Green's reacted straight away, sending waves of 5. Um, let's see what he's up to here. Teal's got his own AA cannon on top of the island. Still 2 here. Yeah, look at that. None of them even fired. Needed to group them together a bit, needed to send more numbers, but sending air against this is the wrong call. And look at, yeah, he's down to, what's that, 8, 7, and he's managed to get a couple of choppers in as well. So not a good exchange. He's managed to drop some parabombs on the island. He's got one of those chronospheres. He's managed to get the spy plane in there too now, so he does have vision. His surviving MiGs are up and running. Looks like there was half an attempt to group them initially, but they're not tightly grouped. Let's see, he is routing them in from the north a little bit. Okay, so suicide mission there on the chrono. That was probably more worth it. Teal, another AA cannon, still has the nuke, has a power plant, has a SAM, so it's quite a foothold here. Yellow has established a presence here and added some air defense, but has not captured the nuke. So I don't know, that might mean that the nuke isn't playable on this version of the map. So we see pink now just occupying some room in the middle. Yellow. Yeah, yellow's just not really reacting. Green's moving up a little bit. Pink's got a V2 up the front here that's going to be firing. He'd do well just to bring a handful up to the front too. See how many shots he can take before yellow realizes. Green's realized and sending MiGs, and pink's pulled back. Pink has crawled up to here now and is getting some AA defense along this line, which is good. If you're wondering how they're doing SAMs and AAs, it's just an edit in the map that allows you to build pretty well all the buildings. Although I think they've turned you can't build a GPS, so you have to earn that vision on the other side. The AA cannons are great. A handful of those around a building, like we saw down here. It's very difficult to break through that without losing a lot of MiGs. So this should be very good now to disrupt green. From earlier, I'll switch back to helicopters now, but yeah, he's just not even getting close to this island. 4 MiGs there and all gone for nothing, and he's only building 2 back, so he's losing more and more. These were all full a few minutes ago, and whilst he got the chronos, yeah, I'd just be sitting on what's left. Yellow now has captured this nuke. Pink is bringing the health down, and we see teal, yeah, is coming up with some engineers. Pink stopped that now. So a single engineer will do it. Not sure if he's going to do the second one to repair, or he might try and capture 2 for redundancy. He's not managing these right now. He's just sort of sent them north for the minute. Trying again now with helicopters. No, nothing's gonna. And he's got twice as much air defense now, and he's brought rockets. Yellow now helping with some V2s. V2s over here would also reach. That might open up a path from the side here. So we'll see how that one develops. Yellow getting organised with some transports, and green looks like he's detached 10 or so tanks to come and help. Yellow is just putting submarines everywhere. That will stop the build radius for teal, although he's found a spot here to put that sub pen now. So I would imagine, well, actually, if these guys pop up to attack, the tanks are going to have a field day. So it'll be interesting to see how this happens. Here we go. Yeah, they might not take the sub pen down. Oh, maybe. Okay, they have. But they all died in the process. Blue's still got the build radius from this. Really needs to repair that. A helicopter, although Oh, he's got some MiGs again, so a couple of MiGs over here. If they could see that, would which they should be able to with the submarines. So if Green sniped these power plants, that would nip this one in the bud. Yeah, those V2s devastating against the submarine attacks. Single shot will do it, and the submarine can't move to shoot, so it's almost a guaranteed hit. There we go. Some V2s taking one of each out. Bit of friendly fire. As we see now, Teal's pushing forward with their submarines. Yellow's Green's still getting a few in here, but they're really behind the eight ball now. They're not going to be able to get through. Teal's blocked with submarines. And as we see, Pink's air now attacking the two nukes. So he's managed to get the one that Yellow has captured, but he had started on this one, and a bit of confusion, and these guys aren't firing, so that was all they managed. The power plant struggled a little bit here, but Yellow still has the radius, still has a nuke he can catch if he wants. Yellow now, okay, looks like he's bringing Green tanks just to the island to help with this naval battle. The tanks, yeah, see, really unfortunate there. They've gone and targeted the AA, which would have helped in that moment. Really poor timing. So that nuke is now gone. Green has picked up on this now, sent his MiGs over, killed the build radius. You would imagine now these tanks will deal with the naval yards and any submarines that are there. So useful foothold now, but still, now that the nukes and chronos are gone, nothing of real strategic value. Green moving his tanks across now to be able to engage any of Teal's submarines that pop up. More SAM sites happening. So yeah, it's a good. Although we can see here the range on the V2 is quite extraordinary. He's been able to get these tanks here. So he's got to be wise to that. But yeah, this cluster of SAMs at least will do a lot of damage to Pink before he can get into this territory. And with these rockets, yeah, there's no way any air is going to get through there. We see from those battles, Pink's been able to rebuild. Green's full again. Really should have kept building airfields, although that said, they might have also now reached the building limit, which does appear. Don't know how many buildings that is. Pink spending some air on these transports, losing a lot of air. Green and Yellow getting a few choppers now out of that. Pink's lost almost his entire force and might only get a handful back. Yeah, you know, when you have all the air and then you lose it, it's sort of 3 or 4 people, I guess, all trying to build at the same time. At best, you're going to get half back on your side of on the team, and Teal's not built any more air since then, so really it's just Pink. But he does have a build speed advantage. Okay, so we did see, I assume that was a naval crossing. Yeah, there's a sea transport there. So Teal's got a tank over here. Green's reacted with his MiGs. He's taken him down to red health, but hasn't killed him yet. We'll see. Teal just sidetracked there, went on a side quest, but back focused again, taking his ADHD meds. And moving up. Not sure where the other team is. Like I said earlier, I can't show you what their vision looks like, unfortunately. But he's carefully scouting around, although he's run into this mammoth tank, which may take him out, and it does. So green didn't lose any air doing that. Pink building again. So I don't know quite where the air production's at. Yellow, like I said before, is now starting just to accumulate quite a nice little force there, which it might be good for a couple of war factories or a refinery. Yellow's just decided to push with tanks in the middle. Well controlled. He's got his heavy tanks out the front and V2s towards the back. Green now getting the message, also moving forward. As we see back here now also, because of this battle, the production has ramped up again. So green's bringing forward, yellow's bringing his units forward. Green doing well to try and get in front of yellow's V2s and defend them and engage the tanks. That just, yeah, I mean, the V2s are just devastating and accurate when tanks are against stationary objects. And they're just having a field day here with pink. Teal's reacted now. He had some helping, but now he's committing everything. Yellow's got this force here. Green's still got some back here. Lots of tanks spawning back here. They'll have enough to hold on, but it just depends on whether they're going to be reckless and push or whether they're just probing. Green MiG's also helping out. Green has had to pivot to face Teal's tanks, and that's opened the V2s up now for pink. And pink's with some mammoths now, so he's having a field day there in those softer armoured V2s. He is losing a few though. Green's managed to react and get in his way as yellow has brought reinforcements in. Some V2s in here not firing. I assume that's because of pathfinding. This one's still trying to get to wherever he was clicked. And yeah, killed without firing a shot. And that's happening throughout this battle. If you really want to optimize that, either group them in smaller groups or once they're here, just select everyone on this screen and press stop or guard to just to remind them what they're there for. So you see these mammoths taking quite a bit of a pounding from the green tanks, but a couple of V2s deals with it. Units streaming across now. Green's brought these reserve force he doesn't need anymore. And whatever he had here. Yellow bringing forward. All of Green's MiGs have just launched. Looks like he's added a couple of airfields. Or has he? Yeah, one or two maybe. So he's 20, 21, 3, 4. He's got 26. He's tried to bring him down here for pathfinding. Okay, so a concerted attack there on the air defense, and that's been quite effective. Lots of targets all at once. Grouping together down here would a bit tighter might have helped a little bit more too. But now green has no, Teal rather, has no air defense structures on the island anymore. He's reliant just on the 2 AI AA cannons and a half dozen or so rockets. And as soon as these MiGs have landed, green's bringing them back again, groups of 4. I imagine he's after the nuke silo, or he might be after the cannons. He is indeed. So those sacrificing those flights of four, but he's getting that build back by the look of things at the moment. He may as well finish this attack and not let Teal get really re-established. He's been building down here, though. That's where his attention's focused. A couple of more war factories a bit closer. He doesn't have heaps of tanks at the moment. Might have simply forgotten to build for a moment there. But his tanks, what he does have, are scattered through here, and he's actively trying to get them in front of the V2s. I mean, just looking at this battle, though, Team 2 winning the battle, winning the war of attrition. They're getting most of the production. Ice Angel's bottomed out on his economy. He's got too many harvesters going to these refineries. He's never re-controlled that from the airstrike earlier. And he has 1, 2, 3 refineries doing absolutely nothing. He's got enough refineries there just to honestly allocate a single harvester to each, and he wouldn't be in this problem. Teal, lots of cash, but for whatever reason, he's producing tanks down here, but again, quite a few here, but just seems now that the production numbers are well and truly in Team 2's favour. They're winning the battle, they're winning the production, and flights of MiGs now also. They're winning the island battle. He's left it a little bit long, but he's come here now. He's gone for the rockets, which is not really effective. Although he's brought a fleet of transports over. Maybe there's engineers in here. Oh, he's got lots of rockets on board. So, all right, he's got both. He's managed to do an airborne assault onto this island. Maybe looking to capture this nuke, which would be quite the play. Although, no, he's just killed it. Okay, he's captured the power plant. Flame tower's up. Got rid of the nukes. So neither team has a strategic advantage from the island, although we didn't hear any nuke drops. So I suspect nukes are disabled for this battle. I think Teal just did capture that or repaired it, but it's gone now. Green's got this island now. So that was a good play. He's got all his MiGs back. Yeah, I mean, if he's got some build order, I would be going even more airfields. You can never have too many MiGs. Okay, we've seen some green MiGs there take out some V2s in this battle, but Pink has brought his anti-air. Quite a formidable line of anti-air cannons now. So, not sure how he's powering that. That does not seem to be anywhere near enough. So, clearly not on the building limit. So Green really is missing a trick. We had the right idea to switch to these MiGs. Should have kept building. The air limit is critical in these games. Because as soon as any targets become visible, which may happen soon, Green's getting established down here now. He's captured that. He's got a build radius now to get some sea transports in. And you would imagine, and yeah, you can see he's bringing his own tanks down now. He's going to send them over. He's got quite the ability here to occupy this island and push Teal back out of this pond entirely. At which point, he's got pretty well free reign to be landing tanks and scouting and using those MiGs. They're holding still in the middle. Pink's got his air on the move. As we see, Yellow's also brought his air defense to the middle, which Pink's just found out. So we can see four Sands here doing heaps of damage. But again, because green hasn't team two, sorry, green or yellow, because yellow could also be doing more helipads. They're letting pink rebuild those every time he loses. You really need more, and we can see here yellow's got a few airfields out now, so perhaps he's gonna try and jump on the MiG bandwagon. Single mammoth coming forward, taking out one tank. See Teal's MiGs getting involved here. Green rather, sorry, getting everything mixed up today. Green should be building more here. He has no other, and look, this V2 is going to take this power plant out, even if it's just ore silos, until he can get these tanks over here. If he loses this and loses that, he's done for with this naval battle. Although he still has his transports to at least get some tanks. So he has in fact lost both of those buildings now. But still, 30 tanks if Green can get moving with them quickly before Teal subs get them. Quite the formidable force. He's decided not to wait, although one of these has gone the wrong way, so we'll see what the subs do in response. He's got one on the beach deploying. How many tanks will he get off? He's got 5 tanks here. Getting a bit of vision now. More transports now coming. That one got trapped and ultimately cornered. He needs to be fighting his way off this beachhead faster than this, even if these are just pushing through to clear the area. They've done that now. Hopefully he'll deploy these quickly, although the rockets are doing quite a lot of damage. Five more tanks. Lost those transports. So he's got 10 tanks over here now. We can see that he's scouting. Yellow air is up. I imagine green will be very close behind and they will be looking. They're going for Teal's economy to begin with. They really ought to be scouting if that's the case because they can use their air for that. Needs to keep these tanks moving, scout what he can scout, see if he can find this. I think they have now. Absolutely have. Another refinery scouted too. There's a decent corridor open here now that both yellow and green can exploit. Come in the bottom, as we see the MiGs are up now, and that looks like exactly what they're doing. Not the tightest grouping, just hoping to saturate the kill box, I suppose. Green, bringing them close in together first. Are they going for the MCV? It looks like it. No engineers. MiG's doing an amazing job. Not all of them fired, though. And they've managed to take it down. So really good teamwork there. And the parabombs at the end. Quite involved. Green's had to come down here, capture this by air, clear this island. Nearly managed to hold on to the island with a few tanks here. He would have pushed all of this back, but he managed to get enough across to scout, and they took down a refinery and the big prize here, the big MCV from Teal. His economy is still intact, but look at this. Full air back now after that attack. And Teal is now at a massive disadvantage. You can't build any more air defense. the unit limit for infantry will prevent him from building many more rockets. So unless he brings quite a few, unless he brings heaps of rockets down here to plug this gap, there's really nothing stopping green and yellow from getting these other refineries. And if you get him down to one or two refineries and then you push with your tanks and target that player, he'll just spend all his cash instantly and will not be able to keep up with the battle. So team 2 getting organised, just seeing some more. So yeah, yellow continuing on the airfields. Green, for whatever reason, is happy with that many. Can't remember the exact number. I think it's on the order of 25 to 30 that you need to kill an MCV in one airstrike on this map. But you do have to be careful the way we saw that, because again, like the helicopters, I think there's a limit on how many can fire on the target building at the same time, and you do find that the MiGs have to take maybe 2 or 3 passes to make that hit. So yeah, you need to sort of send them in 1 or 2 really closely grouped flights, or do some teamwork like your yellow and green have just done and look like they're about to again. So yellow's traded his choppers for MiGs now, grouping them together, flying along the bottom of the map. Good technique, this. Could group them a bit tighter, but most of them getting through. I think all of them managed to launch there. Green in behind him. So green got his refinery. Yellow just needed 1 or 2 more here, although the parabombs are coming. That's probably enough. And just like that, he's down to 2 refineries. And if he's not careful, this one's just going to get clogged because it's going to have 5 harvesters all dropping there at the same time. Teal did manage to get a SAM site or 2 back before the MCV strike, but it's not enough. He's reacting now with a few rockets, but with a well-grouped flight of MiGs, even tighter than we saw those, you can just fly over these guys without too much trouble. Especially if it's just a one-way flight. We see Pink now just in range of this AA cannon. Not a smart move because that's actually helping him. So Pink wants to be careful with these because they will just auto-target those AAs. I think Pink now, Pink maybe trying to get on that transport. Hopefully he does that. No, too late. The V2's just taking some target practice while they're waiting to load up. Green, 2 flights of MiGs up again. I imagine yellow won't be far behind him. There he goes. This was one of my favourite things as a kid, and still one of my favourite things now, is these like amazing air battles and getting the MiGs up and flying and tightly grouped and dodging air defence. It was one of the best bits of the game for mine, so you love to see it. Green, half decent grouping here. Losing 1 or 2 MiGs on the way, but enough getting through to make the strike, although his other strike turned back and the parabomb's inaccurate there, so yellow wasn't able to finish this one off. But he is down to 1 refinery now, and he hasn't controlled his harvesters, so you can see they're all going there. And he was on 50,000, and he's now down to less than, well, he's about to hit 30. And green sensibly now pushing forward. If you're targeting someone's economy, make them spend their money. While he's doing this, that's contained for the minute. He should be bringing these guys up and just constant air harassment. Because if he gets back in here, gets this last refinery, then, that's all she wrote for Teal. Although Green's lost a bit there, he's just regrouping here. Yellow's reacting. Green also reacting. He's got a bit of a distance though. They'll have time to contain this and just absorb this pressure. maybe even just bring the MiGs over. I think that's just what yellow just did. This battle's going nowhere. Teal and pink know that. Green is... Okay, Green's had a clog, a bit of congestion here, and that's why his cash has dried up. He's also producing a lot of units at the moment. He has started on the airfields again now. Yellow, and I guess Green is also building the mammoths, which cost a lot. Yellow, sufficient numbers to really absorb this while Green gets himself organised. So this is some good teamwork here. We just saw the MiGs on the move, so he's probably just pot-shotting. And look at that, Teal's army is reduced to less than half now. And his cash is basically gone. He's started to pull his harvesters out of production to get some steadier cash flow. But yeah, it's with this many war factories and this amount of battle happening, there's just no way he's going to keep up. Green now got his mammoths to the front line. If it were me, I'd just drop them by the front here and then go back to my MiGs and just keep pressing this attack. They know where this last refinery is. They scouted this entire area. They know where everything is here. They know where this is because this was scouted earlier too. Pink, we see, has finally, although he might have managed to get a few war factory, some harvesters out during some production, during some battles. So it looks like now he's got harvesters down here, which he didn't have earlier. These all look to be much the same as before. So his economy is under control again. But we still see short on cash. He's doing a full mammoth tank build, which is very expensive. Huge numbers, actually. Actually, quite phenomenal numbers, especially considering that's not his entire force. So if Pink's quick and brings these guys to plug the gap and pushes with the mammoths, he might get into Team 2's base here. Teal engaging here with what he's got, leaving a few behind. Pink sort of drawn in two directions. He's sending this group north, and look at this, yellow has almost got no one left to hold that. Green's swarming around the bottom, trying to contain this, but Teal's got a few through, might scout. We'll see how Pink goes here. Yellow's reacting now. Would really just do well to come straight across and cut that avenue off and then move down. But he is up against mammoths, which are slower than his vehicles, so he should be able to chase. Getting his air involved too. Throwing everything at this. So yeah, Pink's not going to get any further than that. As we see Teal, he's managed to get around and scout. All he's going to see is airfields for days for now. Green's reacting. They're on red health. They've got no real chance of seeing much here, and they're gone. So not a lot of strategic value in air attacks on these, but it's not nothing. Yellow nearly let the front door open here with Pink, but Pink was able just to push a bit, but ultimately Yellow managed to absorb that pressure. And again, spawning all of these tanks still, which he could bring just over here and leave as a handful of tanks right here, or a dozen, would nicely plug that gap and stop that from happening again. So a bit of a lull now. Nothing changed up here. Nothing's changed here. Pink has now crawled into here and is really pumping out the SAM sites. that's going to make it much harder now to get this final MCV from Teal. So that's keeping Teal in the game. As we see Teal now just using his MiGs on something that would have been revealed. Probably just a cheap little pot shot because he can. He's trying to pre-position them here, but they're turning back. He's not on top of it. And we see now Yellow's MiGs. Starting to roll the AA back now from the front line. Maybe not the best use. You could probably just use your tanks for that, honestly, now. Or move your tanks forward and just bring some V2s into range. Engage here. You know he's strapped for cash no matter what he does. Finding his war factories will be the next big thing. But without any cash, there's no real point having that much production anyway. So, yeah, see Yellow now. A couple of volleys with the V2s. Just going to see what he can take out. Teal not reacting yet. Now he is. Chasing him away. It's what he has to do. It's a lose-lose situation. If he gets stuck in this tank battle, he's going to lose everything. If he sits there and lets the V2 snipe him, he's going to lose everything. So he's just gone for it, pushed them back, pulled them back sensibly. He's losing a handful. Sort of the least worst outcome, really. It's the best you can hope for. Pink's still here in large numbers, lots of mammoths. Detaching a few now. Looks like he's going to try and break through again. Never going to do that with mammoth tanks. Too slow. Survivable, but just way too slow, especially with these sorts of numbers here. And the V2, just sniping that one. Very effective behind the tanks. So a small exchange, but ultimately, what was that? Maybe 8 or 10 mammoths. What's he got? 1, 2, 3, 8. So maybe he's got them back. Yellow still building, bringing his production closer to the front line. He's got enough now that it's probably worth selling off these annoying ones in the back. Green now, I think he's up to 31. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 31 airfields, mostly full. Yellow now is nearly up to 20. Pink sitting on a decent force of choppers, which he's probably just going to camp with now. He knows he's behind the 8 ball with his teammate losing his MCV, and any use of these is really just going to mean he's going to lose them. We see Teal over here. He's got a few more over to scout via the water. Team 2 sending MiGs. One of them picked up a speed crate. That's going to make it very difficult to hit with a MiG if it's moving. Very good for scouting. Well and truly missing there. Scouting around. Walk straight into here. That's the end of that. Has managed just to reveal a couple of war factories though, so maybe Pink will now use their air on those targets. Interesting, they targeted on but then got called off or didn't fire for some reason. Getting a few free kills here. Well, one anyway, and taking that one down to low hit points. So better than nothing. V2s here, just sniping on these guys. That's straight into range. They're vulnerable if these guys push, which Pink is now just doing in small numbers. But you would imagine, and they're now in heavy tank range, they're not going to last for long. Green, quite a few mammoths in behind. I mean, the time's now really just push a bit in the middle and really put Teal against the wall. Green, some more airfields now. He's up to 33. So it's just green and yellow did some good work down here, but really needed to follow on. I mean, this is well and truly defended now. I mean, yeah, they can still get it Pink and maybe see enough to be able to come through here and maybe hit him from behind. But I know they have vision here, but I don't think they have vision here. So they're probably just being conservative with the air defense, but that has just cost them the chance of the victory a bit earlier, and they're just really going to have to grind for it now. The V2s, yeah, yellow's microing these guys up now towards Teal. Very effective, very hard to defend against, very annoying. And I mean, Teal now is only got a handful of maybe 10 heavy tanks, a mammoth, and the rest of V2s. So he's nearly out of this tank battle. Pink reacting to help him out. Yellow bringing a few more into range. He hasn't lost a single one of these now, and you can just see how he's been managing to snipe. Yellow getting a bit too close here, misclicked maybe. But I mean, this exchange is only going in one direction. They're exposed enough here, they might even be able to use their air and avoid these air defences, or at least take some of these air defences out, knowing that Teal can't rebuild them. Okay, so Team 1's now reacted, so it's just an exchange of V2s. No one's really reacting or manoeuvring, so they're just seeing what they can get away with. Although we see the reason now. Green has managed to get a good sized force of transports over to the left hand side again in large numbers. There's maybe 20 tanks there. And he's now well and truly scouting. Pink's pulled his air away for safety. Green now. He's going to be sapping a lot of strength here, Pink, with his rockets. But Green, these will survive long enough. Looks like he's clearing out some air defense to open up this northern avenue of attack. Can't do heaps about the rockets, but he's just ignoring them, taking out the structures. Could be Q moving these in to be a bit more efficient, make the rockets less effective. Def just stopped here because he's got his MiGs up, so he was momentarily distracted. Pretty sure he scouted this earlier. He doesn't know where Pink's MCV is, I don't think. Really would have done well to focus on finding that, and had he just come down a little bit earlier, he turned in here, he might well have found that, and that's a little bit vulnerable now. Although we see green doesn't have heaps of air. Yellow inefficiently sending these over one by one. Really not worth it. He's not damaged really any of these. They're quite well armored when they're on the ground. And he's lost 6 MiGs out of that, lost them all, and really done nothing with that. I suspect Pink has absorbed a lot of that production, which is why these guys were struggling to get their air back. I mean, Team 2 really has enough here to go on with it on the ground, and Yellow is now. He's come down here, he's targeting TL specifically, which is the smart play. He's got 27 in cash, but he's only harvesting with 1 refinery, and that is not going to be enough as his production ramps up. So keep an eye on that number. Yellow, few shots at Pink now. Teal's reduced to virtually nothing now. He is getting a few units back here, but we know how this story goes. He's down to 20,000 now. Both of them really need to be pressing this attack, especially Green with these mammoths here. If he brought those forwards in conjunction, that this would be quite a damaging breakthrough. Remembering every building that Teal loses, he can't rebuild with no MCV. Yellow, at least, has managed to get a scout through. MiG's reacting, taking it down, but he has managed to spy a bit of this. Green MiG's flying over lazily, getting sniped. Not a single one reaching their target. So we can see here the effectiveness of this spread out rocket defense, just constantly taking strength from those MiGs. And if you're not tightly grouped and if you're not actively flying to avoid them, you're not gonna reach your target. And look again now with this air limit situation. Green down to less than half of what he had before. What's he got? 6, 7, 8 MiGs. So for whatever reason, Team 2's air has not been rebuilding. Maybe they just simply haven't queued it up because it doesn't look like that Pink has particularly built much more. Although interesting, I've missed something here. Okay, there are nukes available, but Pink's MCV was taken down to red health and he's now repairing it. So there was some sort of strike. I don't know if it was an engineer rush or what. Sometimes, yeah, they've got the Iron Curtain here. So sometimes you see a transport chopper fly over, you throw the IC on it. If you've both built an IC, you can use one IC to get it past the air defense, land somewhere safely, IC it again, then hopefully you've got enough time to fly it down here and deploy. If I remember, I will try and watch the replay of this. Actually, no, we're already over an hour, so this is not going to download as a replay for me. So we've missed what's happened there. Pink now. Teal's brought a few pink vehicles across. He's just having a bit of a scout. Just dealing with that infantry. Okay, we see there that was a demo truck. Maybe that was the nuke flash that I saw before. Don't know how effective that is. Probably okay against soft targets like V2s, but not really doing heaps. Although we see another one here, so I'll try and keep an eye on him. Although Miggs spotted by TL, blown up in his own base, taken a bit out, but well, done a little bit of damage, but not taken a load out here. TL's lost a few MiGs out of that, but good move. I mean, TL's not building air either. Let's try and count them. So say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Call that 14. Call it 15, yeah. So it's about 60-ish, 55 to 60. Call it 63. What's that? 10, 11, 12, 13. So call that 65, 75. That's 8. So call that 83. Call it 85. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 92, 90-ish. So maybe they are on the air limit. Maybe there's a few more choppers around that I haven't spotted. Green, at least, he's not afraid to use it. Especially on cheap soft targets like this. That's just a freebie. I mean, green, look at these mammoth numbers now. Yellow in huge numbers. And more back here for both of them. They really just need to push, I think. And we see, all right, green and yellow have just exactly decided to do that. If they engage on all fronts, we're seeing yellow very effectively use his V2s behind his tanks, so he could just park them there, V2s behind, and then both of them could focus on this battle. That just keeps pink in 2 binds about helping teal, and teal's the one we've got to hit. So keep an eye on that cash. Started off at about 26,000 at the start of this battle. He's back up there again. He's keeping up with it for now. Green's getting his mammoths forward. Yellow's initial attack force mostly gone. See, these pink ones are able to move down. Yellow should be engaging here as well. But teal losing heaps. His production's starting to eat into his cash reserves now. Green, with all of these mammoths, very hard to kill those. A lot of armor. And more, only he's just bringing more and more. He's got thousands. TL nearly out of vehicles now. He's managed to bring some reinforcements up. So he's still producing. He's down about 10 grand now from where he was at the start of this battle. We can see Green struggling to going a full mammoth build. Although he's now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 refineries up by the look of it. So that just shows, again, how much money can really be spent. Green's having second thoughts now, just regrouping. Yellow's pushed forward a little bit here. Teal still getting his reinforcements to their front line. Green is regrouped. Teal's followed him forward. They're getting destroyed now. Pink. Massive numbers here. Really should be attacking in response, in my opinion. He's got enough here to threaten yellow. and pull yellow out of this battle. But for now, I mean, yellow is just getting a free pass to engage down here. And that's just buying time for green to get all his mammoths up to the front and moving forward again now. Teal's mostly gone. Half of pink is gone. He's reacting again now to plug this gap, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And now he's exposing himself here. If yellow now can easily want to just claim that. Teal he's lost all his cash now. He's spent it all. So while he was getting reinforcements forward, he now is going to be struggling to produce anything. Should really sell these to get them back in sync and that make sure that at least they're spawning closer to the battle. But I mean, it's a dense wall of tanks here on both sides. It looks like both teams have now just gone, sorry, both players on Team 2 have gone full mammoth, no V2s anymore. Mammoth tanks, really effective against these rockets. Yellow's dealing with them, because you can't run over them. Nearly at the point where they're breaking in. You would imagine these two won't get far, but there's a lot more right behind them. In a big battle like this, you do just need to be focusing on your rear lines as well. Always try and just, quickly scan your war factories. So we see here now green's grabbed those and he's grabbed those. Same with yellow, just always scanning back there, bringing his reinforcements forward. Small breakthrough now. This will be good for scouting. He's used his heavy tanks, which are faster than all the mammoths, which are the only things left now for pink. Yeah, so he stopped briefly, but he's Q moving past this war factory. Is he... really needs to be scouting with them and distracting. Which he is doing here. He is targeting pink production and pushing it further back from the front line. So, you know, they're doing a good job. As we see, I suggested yellow. So pink's had to thin himself and pull back a bit. Yellow's been able to just walk forward and take this real estate. Few V2s left there, just taking free pot shots. So yellow should be aware for that. Green now in significant numbers, regrouping. I mean, he's got, dozens more back here again straight away. Same with yellow. Especially with the slow speed of these guys, you really need to be on top of that. And you don't want to be doing a shift all on shift A, sort of select all on this map, because that just ruins your rockets and brings your MiGs and your Navy. It's a big mistake if you do that. So yeah, we see Andy Boy here in teal still struggling for cash as predicted. Green also struggling, even though he's got all 5 of his refineries, 6 refineries on with 2 harvesters each. So he is absolutely pumping his economy and he cannot keep up. Yellow, done the whole battle with 4. Looks like he's got 8 or 9 harvesters there. Green now, decent numbers. He's into teal. He's exposed at the back here to pink, but if yellow gets organised and pressures pink, then green's pretty well got a free pass to bring all of these tanks now and start heading down into teal's base. And we see that now, yellow moving that group forward to engage these guys. Those guys are good there, maybe inching forward a little bit. Bring these guys forward as well if you can. Green's doing that. Yeah, Green, where he's got so much. So these guys don't have full vision. In my opinion, right now, the best thing would be just to take out all of this air defense. But they don't fully know that. They don't know how good it is, I guess. They haven't really flown over it too much. And they also, by taking out these war factories, you're not actually hurting Teal all that much because he strategically is hamstrung by the refinery. But honestly, with these kind of numbers of Mammoth tanks, that is a very small detail. You could pretty well do whatever you want with those as his reinforcements start plugging the gap behind him. So that's always a good way. If you do get a cluster through, keep them moving through, bring your reinforcements, just place them here. So we see Yellow hasn't been doing that, and he's lost that initial force, is outnumbered by Pink now. And Pink's moving in to destroy this, and these guys are still making their way, so they're not really supporting. So they just took their foot off the gas there for a moment. Although we see Yellow... Okay, Yellow is producing tanks, so... Okay, they're coming up from here. Green now. Well and truly into Teal's war factories. I think these are the only two left. That's right. He's moved on before finishing that. Imagine he'll catch his mistake in a minute and finish it off. Yeah, there it is. No, he's moved on already. Really needs to just sit there. I think that's a green Mammoth tank that picked up at an IC crate. We can hear the rockets struggling hard against this attack. These guys are still in place up the front though, so we'll see how effective they are. Yellow is bringing MiGs now, and so is Green, so they might... they're just holding fire over here, coordinating, trying to group their MiGs so that they can fly in together. No, they're sort of playing chicken with each other. I think they nearly had it there. Green paused just to help Yellow out, but Yellow's gone somewhere else, and Green didn't land a single shot. Yellow, and it looks like they're returning to base. So yeah, fell apart there, but you can see what they were trying to do. And we see Green now with this incredible amount of Mammoth tanks. I mean, that's just silly. Yellow has been building down here. Bit of a build radius. Not 100% sure why. Maybe just to scout that area, get a few more war factories. As we see, Pink is absorbing this pressure. Teal he's only got that many tanks. He's got no war factories left to build them anymore. He's accumulating cash because he can't spend it. He's providing a lot of air cover though for this side of the pond, and doing well just by existing. Meanwhile, Yellow and Green just holding back for a minute, which is probably sensible. Really just need to get all of their Mammoth tanks to the front line, ready to push, so that they can really just push and break in and destroy Pink's army. Pink Even though he's got a decent economy, he's strapped for cash right now, so not sure what's building for him. A few mammoths have popped out and about. A few rockets, a few choppers, but not heaps. So, but it's really whatever it is. It's drained his cash. Another mammoth here. I didn't see these two, so he's been spawning the mammoths right in the front line too, which is handy. Ah, Teal, I didn't see he had these war factories earlier, so that's quite. He's still in the game, and it looks like he's now only producing V2s, which I think is a good move. This battle's sort of stalled a bit because there's not enough V2s coming in behind these guys. So maybe Teal can sort of help out here. Although we see now, Yellow's got an IC tank out of a crate, and he sent him in first to absorb the pressure, and now Green and Yellow both pushing. Yellow back on the V2s now, which is good, but he isn't bringing anything forward. Really needs to get that happening before he pushes here. So by the time these guys are done, these have arrived, and they're on their way now. Looks like another crate with an IC in it, but that's just run out. Huge front battle across the entire front here. Mammoth tanks just going down left, right, and centre. Teal accumulating some cash, still doing V2s, but pink and green, with all the mammoth production, not been able to keep up. Yellow, I guess that Yellow is keeping up because he's been accumulating more of a buffer in between battles with these silos. Don't know that anyone else has done that. So Green is pushed again now. Really needs to be bringing his reinforcements up at the same time. That's going to take quite a few minutes to get there. Yellow has done that now. So this first wave is just about to finish off, and already now his full set of reinforcements, including some V2s, are here. Good way to fight this battle is to double click on your unit types and control them independently. That way you can make sure your tanks are in front of your V2s as much as possible, and always moving your tanks forward and letting your V2s stop and prop a bit further back and get their shots away. So Green is reacted now. I mean, realistically, you're not microing these guys on these maps so much. So I would be focusing more of my attention here, even in grabbing them in 2s and 3s and just clicking them forward on the mini map, like dumping them here. So you've always got them moving forward, and because that's what's holding Team 2 back at the moment is their lack of reinforcements. If they're streaming forward, they can really push in, but they still have not broken into Team 2's base again after this first push here. Although now having said that, Yellow is in here with a few numbers. So he's got to split his forces and chase now. Maybe bring his air into play. This is also taking out a few war factories, which just means it's harder and harder for Pink to spawn his troops here, which has been quite effective for him. I mean, I don't want to say I was 100% right, but it did seem like bringing V2s into that mixture, that battle, has had instant results for Yellow here. Yeah, the air's reacted, but they're not really going to be effective against this many mammoths. Strategically, they'd do well to destroy these helipads, get rid of Pink's air production. And then also, any of these choppers, if they land on the ground, snipe them, free up that air limit a bit, and hopefully you'll get some MiGs out of it for future use. So yellow is wise to this and is doing that right now. He's engaging these tanks that are harassing him. He'll win this battle. He'll take out that flame tower. Teal sending MiGs further north to get this one. The V2's been sniping here, having a field day. Yellow pulling back to do the same. Really, maybe should have finished that off as well before he did that. But either way, Pink now has only got one air building to produce. And every time any of these choppers die now, it's going to be harder and harder for Pink to rebuild. And now you would imagine green and yellow will be able to get a few more MiGs. And we can see that on the mini-map. The helicopters are manoeuvring, not going to take it laying down. He's probably got enough here to finish these guys off. Although he is losing a couple to the mammoths, so he might just bring them back down here somewhere under some air defense as well. Or he's just brought them here. Big push in the middle now. Teal's recovered a little bit. Switching to V2s has been a smart play. Still got full power, still got fast production, just low on cash. V2s are sort of cheap and very helpful in this sort of battle. Yeah, I mean, these guys, they're still holding on. And as we see, yeah, it's this reinforcement issue. Looks like yellow has reverted back to heavy tanks. Green, he's been bringing his units forward quite effectively by the looks of things. And this is what I was saying a moment ago. If you're over here and you could just select and you can just click somewhere here that's free on the mini-map, even if it's not optimal, here is 100 times better than here or here. Because they're just a short drive away from getting straight in the battle. And we can see Green's been able to consistently do that and has been consistently grinding away at Pink and Teal. Really now going from these war factories, that's a good strategic move. Being able to have these Pink mammoths spawn right here in large numbers has really been a huge difference as we see that war factory go down. And we see now yellow with the faster tanks. He's pushed, taking advantage, sliding past. He's not even engaging or Q moving. He is just racing through. While green pretty well keeps this middle fully occupied. Yellow's got a few down here as well, so he's moving a few groups around. Green, though, I mean, he's just been able to steadily roll this column forward. He's got his reinforcements here. He'll bring these guys up soon, hopefully. I mean, you can even grab, I would be grabbing them, clicking here, forgetting about them, then grabbing my next slot, bringing them to here. It's just one little thing. If you've got a bit of time, you could do it, especially with the mini-map available, and you can just be constantly applying pressure in different places rather than one at a time. And we see these yellow tanks got into the back. Looks like they're targeting these helicopters. Not getting heaps of bang for their buck. Pretty sure well, maybe they did attack it before, so I guess they know where that MCV is now, but maybe they've got sufficient scouting. As we see now, green well and truly punched through that front layer. This line is just crumbling. Pink's distracted here because he's gone chasing yellow. And these war factories and flame towers are about to die. So that build radius for pink has all of a sudden about to collapse from here, way back here. There we go, 2 war factories there. Third one about to die. Flame tower's gone. Third war factory's gone now. Is green going to engage, or is green just going to push? Yellow's pushing here now. Pink's countering. He's got some V2s here, so he might be able to punch through, although yellow's got sufficient numbers. Depends if yellow is aware of this or whether he's trying to get them past, because it looks like they're just driving past, taking damage without fighting, although these ones have stopped now. Green, huge numbers. Be good to be taking these out of rocket men out along the way. He could just hit guard right in this instant and all of them would die. And then he could move them. That would take one moment. But they're largely getting ignored. And yellow and green just taking those losses and just moving straight into green's space. Green now, bit slow. Pink could counter here if he wanted. Green moving up. Yellow not moving his up yet. So again, this is, yeah, we see pink now. Realise he's just sitting here with nothing to do. So if he had brought those reinforcements up and just dumped them here, they'd be here by now. Green really just spending all of the cash on these mammoths. Cannot keep up. Yellow got the buffer with the ore silos. These MiGs have been accumulating again on this side, not being used, just waiting for a rainy day. Again, yellow, he's not wise to this. It's probably not going to affect the outcome, but it is annoying enough that, you know, his tanks are getting over there with half health, some of them. And this wouldn't take long to deal with. Pink, he's down to 2 war factories now. He's got his MCV's just under attack with these mammoths. May or may not be enough. Going to be close. If yellow raced over and helped in the next 2 moments, they should be pretty right here, you would imagine. Yellow's taken out all the war factories. Also worth doing. Green's just fought his way all the way over now. Now he's targeting the MCV. Couple of choppers, couple of infantry, and couple of mammoths dealing with him, which may be enough to stop it. There we go, Iron Curtain, just in time. The MiGs, not all of them reacted in time. Good move on this map if you don't have an engineer available and your MCV is under air attack or tank attack. Throw the Iron Curtain on it. Not on this occasion. Yellow and green have enough just to wait it out and still win. Here we go. But earlier when we saw yellow getting through with small numbers of tanks, it's that timing could be enough to throw you off. There we go. Green MiGs inbound have finished off the pink MCV. Yellow switched north now. It's going to tidy this up. Green getting across in huge numbers. Pink has counter-attacked. Again, none of these guys moving forward. It's not going to do heaps. Yellow's aware of it now. It's just going to quickly deal with it. After finish all Pink's choppers off now, yellow, completely full airfields. How many's he got? 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So nearly like 45 MiGs or so there. Green, for whatever reason, doesn't have a lot. Teal somehow gotten a couple of V2s over here to be annoying. And the Mammoth must have used his Navy. Yeah, there you go. Green sending quite a few tanks now, but really could just use his MiGs. Tanks are going to do their best job over here, rolling through. Mammoths especially. Although we hear the sell-off now from Pink by the looks of things. Yellow's got all his MiGs up. He looks like he lost one to that Mammoth tank that was hiding there. He's grouping them together. We'll see what he's aiming for. He's trying to get around the air defense here. He's put them all onto one airfield. There we go. I think that's happening because he's got them all grouped under one. Too many, can't fire them all at once, and they've had to circle over a few times. So he's taken 3 out there, but he did lose a few MiGs to that air defense. And as a result, I think Green's finally worked it out now. Green's full is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Green's got 36 there. Yellow has caught up on air and has really got the lion's share. To see when you see these big airstrikes going in against MCVs, weaving their way through some air defense, it's quite a sight to see. Just rolling down the map now. Couple of airfields been left behind. Teal's using his MiGs, but they're going to die in a moment. These rockets doing a lot of damage here. Not sure why he's not attacking them with his Mammoths. That'll all disappear in a moment. There we go, a few rockets off here. Just pop them on guard. There you go. They'll deal with most of that now. He's lost a few Mammoths there, but he caught it and fixed it. Barracks is gone. Airfields are still here as we see, oh, look at this, big wave after MiG wave coming in on separate targets. You love to see it. All disappearing individually. Air defense still doing their job, but he's lost 5 or 6 buildings there. These 3 are down to almost 0 health. So in the end, they've just bypassed all of Teal's rockets here. So I guess that's paying respect to that setup for rockets. Hasn't wanted to fight them, hasn't flown over them, because they'll do a lot of damage, as we saw Pink do earlier, if you're not paying attention. But yeah, final few buildings now. Parabombs, no paratroopers. Infantry limit's been freed up, so the paratroopers are back in the mix. They're doing their part. Refinery's gone, a couple of SAM sites, ore silo. Still got these airfields back up here. Pink's still got some tanks, still manoeuvring. Keeping them honest. There's an APC with some infantry. Everything's asleep here because, see, they're all stuck on this pathfinding algorithm. None of these would fire if you came near it, and none of them would either. They're all still trying to drive and finish that command before they would fire. Those airfields are gone now. Must be on destroy all. This is where mammoths would really be useful, or V2s. Iron Curtain's been thrown on this building. Yellow's reacting now. Green MiGs are inbound. He's just selected them all instead of sending them in waves. He's got quite a nice setup here, so he could be just grouping them in groups of 6 and sending them at separate targets, the way Yellow did earlier. This raid's about to finally get wrapped up, sorry. Nipped in the bud. Yeah, so Team 2 never got over here really. Scouted a little bit, but were unable to really do much. Looks like it is destroy all, and so Team 1 not quitting. I guess that's their prerogative. It's up to Team 2 now to find these last things and get rid of them. They have the air for it. They have the tanks for it. They just need to be looking at their mini map a bit more and reacting rather than just assuming. Pink sent his rockets over. That might have been a shift all. So Green's moving his subs. I guess he's looking for submarines. There are a few down here. I can't remember how that works in terms of destroy all. I believe the Navy got taken out of that at some point, but wait and see. Couple of infantry here, still manoeuvring. If you want it, you got to work for it, Team 2. And we see that now. Almost all of the MiGs are airborne. It'll be hard to hit this moving target, but they've got a lot of numbers here. Green managed to take most of the health. You imagine Yellow here. Yep, finishes him off. I think Green's found this rocket. No, he hasn't. Someone needs to deal with this. These guys still at a bit of a loss. Yellow sending some tanks down, perhaps realizing that it might be submarines that's the problem. There we go. They're full surfaced at once. I don't know. Is that part of the game? If it's the last thing, does it make him surface? This one's surfacing because he's on low damage. Don't know why that wasn't happening before. There we go. These ones also getting brought to the surface. Green needs to group his things together smaller. But really it's tanks and V2s. Just line them up down here. You'll deal with those. There we go, some V2s here now. Single shot each on these ones, pretty much. There we go. And if he brings them down here, they won't last long. He can force fire your MiGs. There we go. So he knows the submarine's here, so he's just force fired onto the water. Even though they've submerged, they'll still do the damage. V2's now moving in. Not going to get all of these, but they're going to get a lot of them. They'll be out of range over here, but still susceptible to air, I suppose. Paratroopers, good move. They'll be able to shoot from the beach, and Teal can't touch them. That is, of course, a tree on the screen, according to the mouse pointer. There we go. They're going to take shots. Look at that. That's very effective. Is the air still a threat? So pink's out of the game. There we go. Green now starting to split his MiGs into some separate groups. Still force firing. His yellow base crawling down this direction now to get level C. But a couple of V2s on this beach and that beach. Green also getting in on the Paratrooper Act. There we go. If he's watching, he can just move these over, which he is. Tanks will get this yellow one. Infantry, there we go. And that's the match complete. Wow, I've been recording for an hour 50. What a match. Not much to say about that, really. GG.